I bought a bunch of art supplies from Didi's, and in my short form video platforms, I showed you exactly what I got and the prices. But in this video, we are going to test out if they can actually make a full-blown artwork. We will be testing from Didi's the sketchbook, the pencils, the brushes, the acrylic paint, and of course this arched canvas. The only thing that I needed to use from my own supplies were a little bit of more black paint, because that tiny little black paint tube was just not gonna cut it, and my own varnish, because it had to be varnished, and they don't really sell varnish at Didi's, not that I saw any. And of course the still life that I used was not from Didi's. It was my curtain from my window, some pumpkins that I bought, during the fall, and this my own personal little pumpkin. So starting off with the paint, you can see that it is very transparent. Like, no matter how many times I apply paint, it's very transparent. With the first layer, you can still see the pencil, and if you put it over the black paint, it clearly shows just how transparent it truly is. Here is a full first layer, and you can see the pencil still, which didn't bother me because I still needed to see where all the little dots were gonna go, like all the little blemishes. I don't know what these are called on the pumpkins. But here you can see that I went on the second layer when it wasn't fully dry, and it would just take off completely the first layer. And that's when I learned, if you want to paint with these, you have to let the layers dry. So while I let one layer dry, I would work on something else. So I decided to work on the little pumpkin, and it's the exact same thing, very transparent. This is when I realized that not only will I have to work on different things while they dry, I would have to wait till it fully dries and really layer on these paints. So it would really help me with the texture and the different discoloration that these pumpkins naturally have. But also I could just really plop on a thick layer of paint, doesn't matter what color, just as long as it's somewhat, pumpkin color, and create this actual 3D texture in the pumpkins. As you can see, I wanted to create not only a visual but a physical contrast between the real pumpkins and the artificial pumpkin. Oh, and here my brush completely broke, but it's okay. I just glued it back together and it was fine. And once it was dry, it was almost as good as new. Like I mentioned before, the small tube was just not enough for the background, but I squeezed every last drop and added the finishing touches to the background. Can you make an artwork just using the art supplies you find at Didi's discount store? The answer is yes. This has no varnish, so this is just the paint from Didi's, the art supplies from Didi's, the canvas, the pencils, the brushes, a little bit of my own black paint, but the answer is still yes. I used the transparentness of these paints to my advantage to really create the texture that I wanted with these pumpkins. So when you're an artist on a budget, you really have to work with what you have. And that's exactly what I did here. Although I was completely satisfied with what it looked like, I really wanted to varnish it because I really don't know how these are gonna dry, if they're gonna crack, if they're gonna peel off. So just to be safe, I varnished it, and this is a look on the canvas. You can see how it's actually very thick, so I was very satisfied with this canvas. Definitely would go to Didi's and buy some canvas there again. I originally placed a candle in this still life to fill up that empty space, but I realized that it just was completely irrelevant to the meaning. The juxtaposition of these two real pumpkins alongside a fake pumpkin was completely on purpose. Please comment down below your interpretation. What did you get from this visual? What does this artwork mean to you? Please leave it in the comments below. I really want to read every single interpretation. I also wanted to quickly clarify that I painted this in February. These pumpkins are not out here in June, almost a year, just exposed. Like, no, they would be completely rotted. I bought these back in the fall because I just really love pumpkins. Like, I love pumpkin flavored things. I love pumpkin decorations. So fall is definitely my favorite time of year because I get to buy everything pumpkin related. It's definitely one of my favorite fruits, I guess you can say. Maybe not to eat directly, but just the flavors that it creates. Anyway, this is all that I bought from Didi's and what they created. Well, what I created, whatever. So here are all our supplies together. This is the sketchbook drawing. In case you haven't seen it, I posted this one in my short form video platforms. And if you're wondering what happened to these pumpkins, they are creating more pumpkins. I planted the seeds and they are flourishing. They'll be ready by fall. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on these pumpkin updates in my Instagram stories. I have a little gardening highlight. I'll have them there in case you're watching this like years later or something. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to comment your interpretation of what this artwork means to you. And if you go to Didi's and make your own artwork with the supplies you find, please tag me. I would love to see what you created. Again, thank you so much for watching.